You wake up. Well, you weren't really asleep, but the lull of soft conversation and flickering lamplight made your eyelids heavy. The family in the courtyard has quietly retreated indoors, and you find yourself alone, under a fig tree, chewing your now thoroughly used twig. It's getting soggy. Time for a fresh one. You pluck a new stick from a small cluster of trees by the well. And this time you choose carefully. You remember hearing the name Salvadora persica somewhere, also called the toothbrush tree. Though of course, no one here would call it that. Here it's just a tree that bites back. You peel away the bark with your thumbnail, revealing pale fibers beneath. You chew slowly, methodically, until the end fans out like a tiny natural paintbrush. There's a gentle bitterness to the inner bark, tingling even. Something about it feels medicinal. In fact, historians believe many ancient Mesopotamians chose their chewing sticks not just for scrubbing, but for what was in the wood. Trees like Salvadora may have offered antibacterial properties. Some even contain natural fluoride. Long before modern science could measure plaque or pH levels, people were already experimenting with what felt right in the mouth. You stroll along a quiet alley, passing a small garden plot. A woman is trimming herbs by torchlight, thyme, mint, and something like anise. She's setting aside the woody stems, possibly to dry and later chew. You make a mental note. Minty breath never goes out of style. Across the street, a young man crouches beside a basket of twigs. He's slicing each one with a bronze blade, cutting small notches into the ends before wrapping them in cloth. These might be the ancient equivalent of travel-size oral kits. Just grab and go. But not all sticks are created equal. Some are too soft, and they collapse into mush after a few chews. Others are too hard, like trying to brush your teeth with a wooden dowel. Then there are twigs that release sticky resins, coating your tongue with the taste of tree sap. Pleasant if you're into that. You prefer a firm chew and a clean finish. Classic. Nearby, an old man hawks temple-grade chew sticks, supposedly harvested under a full moon and blessed by a priest. You raise an eyebrow but accept one anyway. It's smooth, faintly sweet, and perhaps thanks to the power of suggestion, oddly satisfying. Historians still argue whether Mesopotamians believed their cleaning tools had spiritual properties or were simply practical. It's likely both. After all, cleanliness was next to godliness. Literally. In many temples, worshippers were expected to purify themselves before entering sacred spaces. That meant washing, combing, and, yes, freshening the breath. As you approach the entrance to a ziggurat, a priest stops you and offers a bowl of aromatic rinse. You take a cautious sip. It's warm, with hints of cinnamon and bitter herbs. Not exactly pleasant, but your tongue tingles with something that feels ceremonial. You rinse, spit discreetly into a clay gutter, and receive a slight nod. Your mouth feels fresher. Not minty fresh, but ancient fresh. Like you could greet a god without embarrassing yourself. Inside the temple courtyard, the air is thick with incense. A few acolytes sit cross-legged, their mouths busy with twigs as they murmur chants. There's something beautifully mundane about it. Even in prayer, people are still tending to their molars. A passing priest places a small dish beside you. It contains tiny crystals. Salt, you think, mixed with a crushed seed blend. You pinch some between your fingers and rub it gently across your gums. The texture is sandy, but the sensation is oddly grounding. You think about modern dental routines. All the buzzing, foaming, scheduling, flossing. The panic when your dental hygienist asks if you've been flossing regularly, and you lie boldly while sweating through your shirt. Here, though, it's slower, softer, less judgmental. Your thoughts drift. What did children do when they lost a tooth in this world? Were there tiny gods of enamel? A Mesopotamian tooth fairy with a tiny tablet and a pouch of barley? Probably not, but the stories they did have were strange and wonderful, as you'll soon learn. But for now, you rest your back against the warm stone wall of the temple, staring up at the stars. Your jaw moves slowly, rhythmically, chewing, brushing, reflecting. You feel, oddly, like you belong here. Like somewhere between the ancient tree sap, the sol you rinse, and the spiritual scrubbing, you've tapped into something both ancient and intimate. You close your eyes for a moment. Just a moment. A breeze whispers down from the ziggurat steps, carrying with it a dry hush. The sound of a civilization alive and bustling, yet always preparing for sleep.